What is going on, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. So patch day is finally here, and we got some stuff to talk about. So we already knew the multiple man and the Silver Surfer kits, but Polaris's kit just got introduced here. So we're going to be going through that in this video. We also do have some updated information, or updated kits, I should say, for Longshot and also Shatterstar. Also some updated stat boosts, for Iceman that we're going to go through in this video. And of course, more importantly, you probably want to see, how the X Factor team is going to be working out. We got some video footage of the Black Order team. We're going to be breaking that down in this video as well, guys. Let's not tarry any longer, guys. Let's get into it right now. All right, welcome back, guys. If it's your first time coming to the channel here and would like to see some more Marvel Strike Force content, then consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, hit the notification bell so that you will know when my videos do go live. And in the description is a few other links to my Discord server as well as my Twitch page where I do stream Marvel Strike Force content weekly. So go check those out as well. But here we are, guys. This is Polaris, and of course, green outfit, kind of paying homage here, to the comics. The character model, we have 75, gear tier 14, 7 and 4 for gold and red stars, and then maxed out abilities here. So we're going to be going through the kit in a little bit, where we're not going to do it on this particular screen, but wanted to kind of go over the tags really quickly. So she has a hero, a global, controller, mutant, X Factor, and then super sleuth. So super sleuth, I'm assuming most likely is going to be the event campaign tag. Multiple man also had that tag in his video too. So yeah, that's what I'm assuming is going to happen. Wanted to show her stats here really quickly. So this is kind of where we're at right now for stats, and keep in mind, once again, 75 and 14, right? So kind of got to gauge it that way. Health is going to be 275k, damage 18,900, armor 9,875. Focus I thought was pretty good, 7,455, as well as resistance 8,945, and speed not very fast, but I think for her team she actually works relatively well, with her speed there. So let's dive into the kit, guys. All right, so here's the full-on kit for Polaris. We're actually going to start off with the passive ability. So the first ability is Mistress of Magnetism. So of course, a little nod to her daddy there, Magneto, of course. But on self or ally X Factor crit, remove all deflect from the most injured non-summoned enemies. So of course, this team is going to do a lot of crits. Longshot and Shatterstar with those Raider ISOs, are always killing it, with the crits, so being able to remove all deflect from the most injured non-summoned enemy is pretty good. I think this is definitely more so a war offense thing, right? Because you're going to be facing teams that probably have boot. Well, you're going to be facing teams that have boosts, so this is more something that's going to be helpful in that particular area. Even though it's the most injured non-summon enemy, if anybody crits, any X Factor ally crits, you're going to be able to remove the flex from that injured enemy. Also on the next line here, when an enemy attacks this character or ally with barrier, apply bleed to that enemy. I think this is actually pretty interesting. They're going to have a lot of barrier. The entire X Factor team is going to have a lot of barriers. So, she's going to be able to apply those bleeds, to that enemy. And because of her focus, I think she's definitely going to be able to land a lot of those bleeds as well. In war offense specifically, she's gaining 15% max health, and then non-summon X Factor allies are also gaining 15% max health, which I think is significant, considering that she does have a pretty good, decent high health pool. So I think that's good. She's also going to be getting max barrier, so of course, it's like additional health and then barrier, on top of that, and then non-summon X Factor allies are gaining 10%, max barrier too. And I actually forgot to even think about this. Longshot and Shatterstar technically do have very low health, or they're not one of the highest characters when it comes to health, so being able to have that additional health and have that additional barrier, I think is very good, for that team. Additionally, she's also going to be gaining 70% extra focus, and then also her non-summon X Factor allies are also going to be gaining those extra 70% focus too. So for her, she's applying bleeds, where she's going to be applying some other, negative effects as well as we go through this. Some of our other allies, right, are going to be landing defense downs and bleeds and things like that too. So being able to have that extra 70% focus bodes very well, especially if you're going against those, high resistance teams like Marauders, Black Order, in war. I think that this is definitely going to bode well for that. Now with her ultimate ability here, this is going to be something that she's going to have on turn 1, reverse polarity. And she's pulling all enemies up to 2 spaces toward the primary target, then attack primary and targets within 2 spaces for 300% damage. So the damage itself is not a great output, but really what you're concerned about right here is that she's pulling the enemies together within 2 spaces of the primary target, making it easier for you to be able to land those adjacent hits and those adjacent attacks. So that is very good. She's also going to be applying disrupted as well for 2 turns. So, against those big sort of, strifes and coals and things like that, you're definitely going to want to be able to land this. But of course, once again, probably going to want to do this on turn 2 as opposed to doing turn 1, because then if you're going against Thanos is just going to flip that, and of course, with Emma's just going to flip that too and clear those positive effects. So clear those negative effects off the team. So probably going to want to wait a little bit before you do that, which is why I said like her speed not being very fast, I think actually bodes well, for the entire, team, because she's going to be going after some of the other characters go. She's also going to be flipping all regeneration to bleeds, which is a little nuts, considering that, you have, teams like Black Order and, Marauders, right? A lot of those teams that have those pile up those regenerations characters, or even Wave 1 Avengers, right? That, a lot of people are putting those healer ISOs on characters. I mean, so her being able to flip those to bleeds are insane. Having Longshot and Shatterstar, then doing additional damage on top of that. It feels dirty, doing it, but yeah, it's absolutely insane. I really do like it. If multiple man is an ally, gain 100%, extra focus to flip regeneration to bleed, and this attack is unavoidable and cannot be counterattacked. Then we jump to her special ability here, where she is, she's going to be able to do this on turn 1 again. Barrier and Cell for 20% of this character's max health. So it's more barrier again, right? Just more barrier on top of barrier, attacking primary and adjacent targets for 190% damage. Not a big damage output, but she's not really a big damage dealer. She's more of a controller, right? So, and if any target has bleed, which she's probably flipping those bleeds anyways, then they take 250% piercing instead. Of course, the piercing damage is much better than just your regular 250% because it's also bypassing armor. So, that's a good special attack. This attack always crits. So once again, crit, barrier. Then if you attack her, then, or attack any X Factor ally, then, she's going to be applying bleed. So, she's insane, man. She's absolutely insane. This attack cannot be blocked. I mean, if you're thinking about this with the entire team, right? The entire X Factor team, they work really well together. And then basic attack here, attack the primary target for 230% damage and adjacent targets for 200% damage. Apply bleed to the primary target as well as adjacent targets. And then barrier, again, barrier, the most injured non-summon ally for 10% of this character's max health. So she just looks crazy. Just for that team, she just looks absolutely crazy. There are some footnotes here, or developer notes, that they did share. So I actually want to read through that for her. Characters defining attributes, she has high focus and high hit points for sure. Summary, powerful controller that inhibits her abilities to use regeneration, provides barrier-based bonuses on war offense. ISO 8s, they're recommended fortify because it synergizes with her passive, because the extra barrier helps her apply bleed to the attacking enemies, which I understand, but I feel like you're just going to end up losing a bunch of barrier because of the constant barriers that she's going to be given with all of her abilities. Raiders, I think Raiders probably going to be a better way to go for, obviously because of the crits, but Raider synergizes with her special because the extra crit damage for the Raider receives increased value from the increased crit chance from her special. And who does this character work with? Obviously the X Factor characters, multiple man as well. And what problems does she solve, and how Polaris can use her ultimate to flip regeneration to bleed, providing a strong counter against teams that rely on regeneration for sustain. But she like I said, her kit looks really good. Stats, you know, we're gonna have to kind of take a look at that, but overall everything looks good here. Wanted to jump down to some updated information. So this one I'll talk about really briefly. Iceman is going to be increased, is going to get an increased base focus stat of 33%, which I think is very good. Very, very, very good. And I'm very, very, very excited about that, you know, because I love my Iceman team, and yeah, you know, I could use some extra. It doesn't bother me as much that his stats, his focus stats, are so low in raids, because I'm still able to land the slows, but in war, oof, it hurts a little bit, man. So being able to have a little bit of a boost there on his base stats, I think is very good. Now with Shatterstar, there's some improvement on his special ability. So previously before, you know, well, actually, let's just read the new ability, right? Attack all enemies for 250% piercing, plus apply defense down for 2 turns. Applies defense down now to all targets instead of just the primary target. So it's very good. Once again, you know, because of that increased focus from Polaris 2, you know, I think he's going to be able to land these defense down at a more frequent basis. He's always been great at ability energy, the long shot, but this attack now cannot be blocked, which is, I think, is going to give him a better opportunity here to be able to land those crits. With his passive ability now on war offense, he's going to be gaining 35% damage, and then non-summon X Factor allies are also going to be gaining a 35%, you know, extra damage too. So that will help Polaris, and will help out Multiple Man, you know, with their damage output, and of course make them even more insane, you know, too, where that's concerned. And then with long shot on his basic, it now cannot, the attack can now not be dodged, and with the ultimate ability, this now cannot be blocked. And then with the passive ability, if this character has 3 or more non-summon X Factor allies, lower armor by 5% for all enemies. So that is going to give him an opportunity here to be able to land and do some more damage on those teams. But let's take a look, guys, at that Black Order video, you know, with X Factor. All right, y'all, so here is the war attack, and this is X Factor going up against the Black Order team. So we're actually going to be able to see, you know, what's going on up top here. Some of these buffs, you know, that X Factor and Black Order are getting. So we're kind of going to break this down. I'm always a little kind of, you know, I always kind of pause a little bit whenever we talk about these new teams going against Black Order, but we're going to break it down in regards to what's going on here. So on spawn, we're seeing Multiple Man. This is a war offense thing specifically. So on war offense, he's going to be summoning 2 dupes. If it was outside of war, he would just be summoning that 1 dupe, right? And then Thanos is going to go first. Multiple Man is going to counter. And then because, you know, Multiple Man was hit, he is now going to summon, whenever he's attacked now on outside of war, he would summon 1 additional dupe, but because it's in war, he's going to summon an additional 2 dupes. This is what you see right here. And this is where you see, you know, Polaris's passive ability go into effect. So, you know, I'll take a second back at this here, you know, you'll see, you know, Proxima have 0 bleeds, and then she attacks, you know, Multiple Man. Oh, I'm sorry. She attacks Longshot and Shatterstar. They both had barrier on them. So because of that barrier, you know, Proxima actually was, you know, Polaris applied that bleed over to Proxima. All right, let's see what else happens here. All right, so one of the dupes attacks, dupe attack again. Them dupes got speed, man. And this is Shatterstar here. I believe this is his special. Yeah, this is his special because he's landing those defense down. So remember, with the improved rework kit, he's supposed to land defense down on every character, all characters, but because of the immunity to Ebony Maw and Thanos, he's only landing that on Proxima, and I think also the high resistance on Cole. He's only landing that on Proxima and landing that on Corvus. All right. And then this is a long shot special because he applied the bleeds. So that's a special. And then Thanos flips here. So at first, when I looked at this and I saw that Thanos flipped, you know, I saw, let's jump back here. So when Thanos flipped, he applied the bleed, you know, to Multiple Man. And, you know, I was like, hold on, what happened? Why did it go away? But then Multiple Man did his special ability. He took a turn, so the bleed went away. And then he did the special ability where he was able to apply taunt and then also apply death proof, you know, to the dupes that are there. And of course, he also summoned some more dupes onto the field as well. And then of course, Polaris, she did her ultimate ability where she dragged, you know, these two characters in. And this is where we see her ultimate working again too, because she brought them together. She applied Disrupt to Thanos, and then she also flipped Regeneration, you know, Proxima, I think also Cull Obsidian, and a few other, and maybe one other character here. She flipped the Regeneration to bleed. All right, dupe attacking again. This one I don't understand, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. CM, I know CM's a beast, but she just cleared Taunt off of Cull Obsidian. I don't know how I feel about that one yet. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how I feel about that one yet, but that's what happened. All right, so then we continue on here. Shatterstar, this is his ultimate ability. He just applied defense up to his other X Factor allies with that ult. And then long shot here, you know, he does his ultimate, and then okay, there we go now. So multiple man, he did his ultimate, he summoned some more dupes, and then he applied offense up, you know, to all of the X Factor allies here. So that's what just happened. Okay, speed bar because of those crits. Ma applies offense down. So Polaris should be applying, you know, these bleeds here, but what's happening is that these characters are resisting it, and then there goes a dupe taking out Cole, which just it didn't look right, man. It didn't look right. All right, then we have Thanos' ultimate ability, bye CM, but the X Factor team, just look at that barrier. Look at the barrier, guys. Look at the barrier, and you know, all of that, you know, right there. Just oh my goodness, it's crazy. You know, they're just. This just looked really easy. I don't know. This looked really easy, and I don't know, man. It's just, the questions that I have are what were the bus? Was medbay down? Was barracks down? Like, you know, why was this so easy? But maybe they're just that good. They're just gonna have to try to test them out and see, you know, for ourselves here. But they beat Black Order. They beat Black Order here in this thing. I got to study this probably a little bit more so I can get a little bit more of an understanding of it. But that's what happened. That's definitely what happened. Polaris also tried to do her special, which her special is supposed to land, you know, some additional negative effects there, but she wasn't able to do that because she had the offense down. So that kind of prevented her from doing that too. But this is the X Factor team, guys. And this is kind of what things are looking like with this team. I think that they became better with Multiple Man and also with Polaris. I think their kits, you know, are good. Just a lot of questions about some of the footage that we're seeing here. And like I said, it's only because I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up. But listen, guys, let me know what you guys are thinking here in the comments. Leave it. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Thank you guys so much. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe.